All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back, guys. Good morning, good morning. Let me just make sure you guys can hear me all loud and clear. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Happy Monday, guys. Happy Monday, everyone. Hope everyone had a good Easter, a good break. You're ready to get back for another big week in the markets. Gold has already had some huge moves already today. Some very, very, very big moves. Good morning, guys. Everyone will hear me all loud and clear. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Let me just get Discord up here as well. Happy Monday, guys. Anyone who's new to the Topstep stream, my name is Aaron Trades. I've been trading for about 7 years, mainly focusing on gold futures here in the European and Asian markets. So, been streaming on my own channel for the past 3 years, and we're going to break down some markets here for you guys today. Gold has been on an absolute madness today. Awesome, thank you, man, thank you. But gold already gapped up at the open and has just seen an absolutely insane 500 tick move. So, yeah, looks like the guys over in the Asian session don't celebrate Easter Monday because gold has been on an absolute crazy run today. And I haven't really been watching it because it's a bank holiday here in Australia. It's a bank holiday in New Zealand. And it is actually a bank holiday in London today. So we will see what we get today, guys. It may be a shorter stream than normal. We'll see, or we'll make it an educational one for you guys. But yeah, we do have, look at the news here. We do have, bank holiday. It's Switzerland, France, Germany, Italy, and London as well. You obviously had the bank holiday in Australia and New Zealand. But it looks like the markets are still moving regardless. Markets are still moving very, very, very well. So because it was a bank holiday here, I decided to take the Asian session off today. But it looks like it was a pretty expensive day off because gold has been on a phenomenal run again. It's a bit of a shame because I was looking for gold buys at the open. We had this trend line coming down here as well. You know, lots of people trying to short this. I was really hoping for this week just to kind of open, give me a little bit of a bottom wick, and then so I can continue riding this up. However, the fundamentals had other ideas. We literally gapped open here and just had a phenomenal run. So once I saw it kind of, you know, back at these highs, I was like, oh, I don't really want to chase this. So I was like, oh, you know what, let me go out and enjoy my day. I did just take a little pre-scalp here in the pre-London session. Mike's cutting in and out, really. Is that happening for everyone? Am I mic cutting in and out? I can try and fix it if it is. What's going on, Zoom guys? Welcome back. You guys, everyone else hear me all good? Or is it cutting out? No, it should be all good. I hope not. If it is, I can try and plug it in. One trade the Asia Open, one winner. Yeah, nice. Yeah, you're good. Cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So yeah, I haven't really traded here in Asia today. I did take a little bit of just a little pullback trade here, just a little breakout trade here on gold. I probably trailed a bit too aggressively, but I wasn't too sure what was going to happen at these all-time highs. But I knew that there was a high chance they were going to get grabbed. So I did take this little breakout trade here on gold. Took about 260. And that's it. I haven't really looked at the markets today, guys, so we'll break everything down fresh. I refreshed. Awesome. No, it is not. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I wanted to continue running this high, but, you know, this is the thing with gold at all-time highs, guys, and this is, you know, how do you trade gold when it is at all-time highs? One thing that you don't want to do, that's for sure, is be trying to sell all-time highs. You know, you don't want to be the one who misses out on these buys, gets frustrated, then tries to jump in shorts, and then, you know, gold in the Asian session ends up ripping 500 ticks. So one thing I won't do at all-time highs is absolutely short. As you guys have probably, you know, heard me say all of last week, I haven't been shorting gold for the past, I don't know, since around here. I think we took one short, maybe we took a little short, intraday short here. But I'd say 90% of my trades on gold I've just been buying, just because gold's been so bullish. That's why there's not really, you know, usually I'll do my top-down analysis for you guys, but there's not much to say. You had this beautiful breakout here on gold today. You just continued ripping higher. The dailies, you know, in massive price discovery mode. And the only way you can trade that is waiting for these nice pullbacks. You know, it's not just going to keep going up and up and up forever. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to chase it. You want to stay patient. You want to let price pull back and then continue buying. And there was actually a really nice 15-minute buy here on gold today. Unfortunately, it wasn't on the charts, but this lovely breakout here was very, very, very nice. You held this very nice level at around 33.85, broke above, held this level. So you had a nice bounce off this support. You then had the breakout. And then you also had all-time highs as a target. That was probably the nicest opportunity I've seen so far here today. From here to here, that's like a 100-tick trade. That's huge. If any of you guys did take that trade, that was a very, very, very nice trade. Really, really nice breakout trade there on gold. And, you know, look, you have, you know, had massive breakouts. You've ranged for a while, and then you've continued. So all you really want to see here on gold, this is why we're probably going to look at some, other instruments today, guys, because yeah, 3,400 is just huge. Welcome back, everyone. Good to see some familiar faces back in the chat again. Welcome back. So, you know, right now, what do we do here on gold? Do we start trying to chase this? Do we start trying to sell it? Honestly, you have to be very patient with gold. You have to be very patient. You have to let it peak all-time highs, because I can promise you, at some point, you're going to have these pullbacks. You don't just keep ripping forever, and if you try and chase it, you know, you can get stopped out, and, you know, these pullbacks from here to here, if you try to buy up here, these pullbacks can be, you know, 100 ticks, which if you get caught on the wrong side of that trying to chase the markets up here, you can get burnt out very, very quick. So if we do want to trade gold today, we let all-time highs peak. We let, you know, price discover where it needs to find some next resistance. We wait for price to pull back, and then we continue following. Again, you know, like we said a lot last week as well, guys. People see these huge pushes down and go, oh, you know, this is it. This is the one that's going to get me, you know, a documentary made on me, and this is going to be the big short. They're going to make a documentary on my life one day, and then before you know it, gold just keeps pushing higher. So, like I said all of last week, these pushes down, to me, are fantastic continuation buying opportunities. I see these pushes down and go, wow, this is fantastic. I want to keep buying that. Same as all of last week. You know, any of these main pullbacks were just opportunities for us to keep buying, and that's why we had so many good buys last week. So many good buys. You know, there was actually some decent sells on, is this Thursday, 17th? Yeah, on Thursday. Really, really nice push down. But to me, I was happy to miss that. Because I'd be happy to miss that because I know that this is the move that I want to follow. And I know the correction down can be a lot choppier than the nice move up. But it was actually a pretty decent push down. And like I say, these pullbacks are very, very large. You know, that's a 450 tick pullback. Absolutely huge. So yeah, gold has been absolutely booming again, guys. Absolutely booming. So we will leave gold do its thing for now. And remember, guys, it is a bank holiday today as well in the UK. So we'll see what the London Open does bring. If it is a quieter session than normal, well, we can use a session for you guys to ask plenty of questions. We'll break down other markets. I will be on TopstepTV later on today for the opening call, so I'll be sure to see you guys there. But yeah, we can break down some other markets here today. See what we got for the day, and see what we have for the week. Obviously, you know, if you go on gold and try and look at the weekly time frame, we are just, look at this, just absolutely huge. So there's not really too much to say on the higher time frame. This is why I'm surprised we didn't, you know, open and pull back a little bit before pushing up. But again, this is all fundamentally based. Gold just open and just huge pushes. So you could be come down and create a bottom wick on this weekly, maybe. I'm not going to try and predict that though. I want to be following the market. So yeah, gold is going to require a lot of patience today. If I do want to trade gold more today, I'm going to have to see some, what I would like to see, this is what I'd like to see. I'd like to see price come back, tap into this region, have a little bounce, and then I'd love to look for these fake out buy opportunities. Then you got this nice inverse head and shoulders as well. Very, very, very similar to this. Breaks below this support, breaks back above, holds it, really nice push. So I want to see price come back down, have an initial bounce off this area, bring in some early buys, squeeze them out, and then see if we can get the longs. Remember, there's obviously, there's absolutely nothing to the left on gold to look at because we are so bullish. So it's just, yeah, boom, and I'm not really too interested in these little pullbacks. Some people are, you know, that's maybe someone's style. They might like to scalp this little pullback before taking this continuation. It's just not really my preferred style. In normal markets, don't get me wrong, when gold isn't peaking all-time highs, you know, I'll short these little pullbacks and short in within here. But when you are this high, yeah, I personally, my risk appetite, I'd rather wait for price to pull back, and then I would personally continue following that. So feel free, you guys on YouTube, post in the chat what you guys would like me to break down. We can have a look at we'll have a look at the Nasdaq. We'll have a look at ES as well. We will have a look at oil. We'll be live here every single day this week as well, guys. So we've got plenty of time to look for some gold trades. Let me just see what other news we do actually have for the whole week. Let's see what we have. Let's see what high impact news we have this week. So we have nothing today. A lot of bank holidays in Europe. We have no real news tomorrow. We have a lot of earnings this week. For you guys who are trading Nasdaq, a lot of earnings. Did you go for your trade today? No, we can have a look at it, man. Yep, I'll show you. It's a very small trade. I was probably aggressive on the management, but yeah, I can show you, man. We have flash manufacturing PMI on Wednesday, 2:45 London time. We have a Australia New Zealand bank holiday again here on Friday. And then what do we have? Unemployment claims on Thursday. And that's pretty much it. There's nothing too crazy this week. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, London is bank holiday today, but the markets are still open because the US markets are back open today. So yeah, it is a London holiday. To be honest, that's why I wasn't really trading Asia, because it's a bank holiday here in Australia and New Zealand as well. However, gold still, ripped like almost 600 ticks, which is, yeah, insane. So in terms of the actual London Open coming up in about 12 minutes, we will see how we go. We'll see if there's any volume or not, but gold is full of volume. Let's look at NQ. Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look. I'll show you guys, just for the guys that just asked about the trade today. The trade today was obviously, I'm just looking for buys on gold. I should have actually been in the buys from down here. This was a fantastic place to buy. However, I just wasn't on the charts yet. I wasn't really watching Asia. However, I did get to the office early this morning, and I simply took breakout buys, and I trailed a little bit aggressively just because of how bullish we have been, and sorry, the fact that we're hitting all-time highs, and I don't really know what's going to happen up here. So I just took these breakout buys from here up into this high here, sorry, for about 23-ish ticks. But I cut it a little bit early. This 5-minute candle wicked these highs and then wicked back down really quick, so I quickly got out because I was like, this could be a liquidity grab with these highs to pull back a little bit. So I quickly got out, and I got in this for 2 contracts. So yeah, I got out for I guess about 10 ticks-ish. I wanted to hold it longer, but as soon as we started grabbing these all-time highs, I was like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen up here. We could easily pull back. So I was like, oh, let me just be very aggressive. If we had kept ripping, I really wanted to trail this aggressively. But it got pretty choppy. But it was just a little breakout trade. There's even nicer opportunities from here, this breakout trade. But I just took the one from here to here. Very small little scalp as well. Let's have a look at Nasdaq. Oh, nice little a nice sell-off here. At least on Nasdaq we can do some top-down analysis. We're not ripping all-time highs. Again, similar to gold, we're just opening and pushing down. So let's clear up some of these levels. So previous week, we saw this very big bounce off 17,000. Last week, you pretty much opened and just pushed down. I personally like us to, just as an overall outlook, to come up and squeeze a little bit higher. You got 1900 there as well, 1950, some pretty decent levels. This is just an overall weekly outlook before we drop down to the lower time frame. But yeah, I would like this to pull back. Now, if we were going to have a little bit of a pullback, where would we most likely tap into first? I'd say it's probably the low of last week. Looks like a pretty decent squeeze target before potentially seeing that push. Let's have a look at the daily. Yeah, daily's looking pretty bearish. I wouldn't really want to be, there's a chance you might squeeze up into these weekly highs. I wouldn't want to be a buy here just yet. But I'd be very interested to see what happens down below these lows. So could you short into them lows before potentially squeezing back higher? You're pretty much already there. Let's just have a look. So you got that. That's previous week lows. You're squeezing down here. You kind of had a little gap open, little gap down this morning, and have continued the squeeze. 4-hour time frame, trying to find some support. But to be honest, I think this is probably bringing in some early buys. I think you're going to get some early buys here. That's why I think you can squeeze lower. I would imagine people are probably trying to jump in this breakout here. Probably trying to risk off. Where is this? Probably trying to jump in these breakouts. Probably trying to risk somewhere off here. Maybe even squeezing stops down here. So in the European session, in the London session, depending on, like I say, it depends on the volume here today as well. Remember, guys, keep in the back of mind, you have had some great moves today, but it is a bank holiday in London, so we have to take the markets as they come. But yeah, I would like to see this. See if you can squeeze down these lows, maybe have a little bit of a pullback, but before potentially squeezing lower, and then down below these lows. With all the earnings coming out this week, I'll be very interested to see if you can actually start to get some pullbacks. Come up and correct some of this move. Have a bit of a pullback. It's going to be interesting to see if, we're going to be able to continue this big move up and this is going to be a bit of a pullback before, you know, we see another high. We'll have to see. It's going to be a very, very, very interesting week. Very, very, very interesting. Gold's still higher. Gold's still ripping higher. But yeah, it's a little bit of a range. You've been in this range for the past 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. We got London open in 8 minutes. But I wouldn't want to be a buyer here personally. I'd like to see this come down and squeeze lower. Yeah, scary trying to trade at all-time highs. Yeah, it's very, very scary. Need your channel. Congrats. Thank you, man. Appreciate you tuning in. You guys on YouTube, remember, drop a like for the Topstep channel as well. I would love to take some gold trades with you guys today, but yeah, gold is just, again, higher and higher and higher, which is just insane. Absolutely insane. I said to the guys last week, where was gold in January? You could have literally, in hindsight, bought gold at the start of the year and made 28%. 28% on gold is just absolutely insane. And it just doesn't show any signs of slowing down anytime soon. That's why I haven't been interested in trying to be a seller here. Sometimes it's easy to see these all-time highs and think, oh, you know, it's time to go short. But the thing is with gold is it can give false signs of finding tops, and you can just keep squeezing higher and higher and higher and higher. You get squeezed out, then before you know it, great, you have a decent pullback, and then you can just completely push higher again. And that's why I think a lot of people do get stopped on the wrong side of gold. Like this, you know, almost looks like, oh, potential liquidity grab to squeeze lower. Gold can just keep going higher and higher and higher. So gold is yeah, gold is never one to try and trade against. Don't try and ever fight gold. I've done that many times before, and it never works out well. It can just keep going higher and higher and higher. Let's have a look at some other markets here as well. If you guys have a look at ES, probably very similar to Nasdaq. Let's have a look. It's interesting how these markets have opened and instantly pushed down. You know, you would kind of imagine if this week is actually going to be a bearish closure this week, well, you would expect the weekly first to come up before then pushing back down, because then if the week was going to close bearish, then, you know, the weekly candle would have a nice top wick. Well, there's no real top wick on this weekly candle. So do I think that this is going to be the high of the week? I mean, obviously, anything's possible. I personally think it's unlikely that this is going to be the high of the week and this is just going to completely roll over. Could I be wrong? Maybe. That's okay. I just don't believe that that's going to be the high of the week. And that's a pretty decent retracement as well. As a little intraday trade, it's a very, very nice retracement. So I wouldn't really want to be a seller here on gold, on NQ. Sorry, let's put that open from here. Was that it? Let me go. Let's go weekly. Yeah, nice, cool. We got that there. So we'll keep that there. Something to keep in mind. You know, look at where we're coming into now. It's not to say that we have to hold these areas and continue pushing up, but you know, just in terms of simple price action, if this level was going to break and you were going to see the ES squeeze even lower, you kind of also have to imagine, like, if anyone's shorting this, people who are shorting this market here, where would they be looking to take profits? I would imagine around this massive support would be a big take profit area, which could then give that little bit of a pullback before you then potentially do break that level and squeeze lower. So you can kind of say to yourself, oh no, like, you know, I personally think we're going to break this level. This isn't what I think, but this is just how, you know, some people can think. You can think to yourself, oh no, I think we're going to break this and we're going to squeeze lower and we're going to see some new lows all the way down here. That's not necessarily wrong, but I would imagine because it is such a strong 4-hour level of support, you could still get some really nice intraday bounces from this area. So I wouldn't really want to be a seller here, because at any point, you know, you're shorting 4-hour support. At any point, that can start to go against you. And then you look back at the higher time frame and you go, oh, yeah, you know, that was not a great place to short. So if anything, I would like to be buying this. Even for a pullback, you know, back up into 5,300 looks like a pretty decent level. For you guys who do trade these markets, it looks like a pretty decent retracement. Now, I haven't traded NQ or ES at all to get any of these funded accounts, so I don't plan on trading it now. But I like to give you guys some very neutral analysis. Very, very neutral analysis. I'm not going to be jumping in this personally. Like I say, I don't trade these markets, but I'll absolutely break them down for you guys. Copper, I would trade. Look at this. Copper last week, very nice trendline breakout there. Beautiful, beautiful play. Couldn't quite come down to the lows. So let's have a look at the daily, because we're nowhere near all-time highs here either. Let's have a look at the weekly. Yeah, US is open today. Yeah, absolutely. We'll be on for the opening call today as well. Back to business. It's UK. It's bank holidays in most other places. But yeah, US markets are back open today. So copper found some incredible bounces off these major support levels. Squeezed all of these lows. Did you tap into $4? Very, very, very close. And a really nice push higher. Again, you're opening and instantly pushing up into massive resistance. So to me, if we're going to see this push back into these all-time highs, same thing as ES and Nasdaq. Do I think this is going to be the low of the week? I mean, maybe. I don't think so though. If this week was going to close bullish, I'd expect you'd pull back a little bit before doing that. So could you look for intraday sells first? Or let's have a look. What have we got here? What have we kind of done already? When was this? This was last week. You had a decent bounce off this level. You're now coming back into your next daily area. It's going to be around about 4.85. Looks like a pretty decent level. So this would be my big overall daily range on copper. If this hourly closes like this in 1 minute, we're going to have the London Open as well. I personally think you could see this pull back. What have we just done? We've just come up. We've liquidated the previous highs. So you see if you can get this next hour to open, give you that top wick before then squeezing lower. And you could kind of print that very nice potential, because we'll have to see, evening style play. And maybe you can see us come back down and retest like 4.7250-ish. Come and retest some of these areas. So we've got 1 minute until this is going to, hourly's going to close here. Gold is still absolutely to the moon. There's going to be no trading gold today, guys, or no trading gold anytime soon. We had some trades on Friday as well. What do we take on Friday? Sorry, not Friday, Thursday. I took 350 there and 500 here as well. So we had some nice buys on Friday into the New York session. Where was our buys on Friday? What did we take? We took advantage of this liquidity wick. We were buying gold on Thursday. I keep trying to say Friday. Just for a little retracement up into here. What we were basically saying is a lot of people would have been shorting these markets. Stop sitting just above these areas. You guys who were on the Friday stream as well. Remember, we said fake out buy opportunities. And we got the very nice fake out buy opportunities. Remember, guys, I said closure back above these areas. So once we did close back above these areas, I got long from around here up into there. There's a very, very nice move. There's some very, very nice moves on Friday. Before then, having a decent push down. But yeah, these were the plays on Friday. Remember, I said to you guys, people were asking if we could buy this candle here. And I said no, because you hadn't quite closed back above this level. So you didn't close back above. People thought this was maybe a fake out buy. You then squeezed lower, ripped all of the lows, and then closed back above. So as soon as you see this candle, liquidate the lows, close back above. London Open here as well, guys. Grab the lows, close back above. That's where I was like, oh, great. This is my fake out confirmation. You've engulfed the past few candles here, and you've liquidated the lows, and that's where you then had that really nice push up. You would have sat at what, maybe 40 ticks worth of drawdown, and you were squeezed out about 130. That's all this was, just a little retracement play. Trying to stop out most people who would have been shorting here. Stops, sitting just above these highs. Taking advantage of that is a really, really nice push up. So yeah, if you guys did take that from the Thursday London analysis, well done. Really, really nice push. Let's have a look at copper, because gold is non-stop. How is that? Oh, sorry guys, what have I just done? I've just broken everything. Yeah, gold is non-stop. So I don't want you guys to jump in any gold positions today. Do you trade much on your personal account, bro? Mainly funded. I use personal capital for more higher time frame trades, man. More swing trades. And I use Topstep for more intraday scalp trades. I tried to use personal for intraday trading as well, but then I would kind of like just neglect one or the other. So I was like, nah, I want to keep them separate. So I use personal account for higher time frame trades. Still trading gold as well, and then for just day trading, just these accounts here, man. Yep. I try and find if I try and focus on too many, you know, either funded will get left behind or personal will get left behind. It was kind of hard to find balance on the both. So I was like, no, let me just keep personal for the higher time frame plays, and then day trades. Yeah, we'll keep using the funded accounts. This account here that I started only this month. Let me show you guys. Is almost up to, when did we start this? I think I started it in early. I think it was this month. When was the first trade? Yeah, the 4th of this month. And we've got this one account already up to 3,000. So I'm going to take a payout on this one soon as well. But I don't want to take a payout too quick. I want to give myself a little bit of a buffer. We took a payout on the other one last week as well. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 $200 green days, which is great. Like I said, you guys, that is never the goal to try and achieve them $200 days. Them $200 days just come as a byproduct of good trading. I never aim to squeeze out, you know, 200. I take what the market gives me, and I look back at the end of the month and go, oh, sweet, I've got this many $200 green days. Amazing. I can take the payout. So we got about 3,000 in here. We got what 2,200 here with a payout that we took last week as well. So yeah, this account's doing nice. I want to take a payout of this one very soon, and then we'll go to, once I kind of get them similar balances, then we'll copy trade them as well. Yeah, let's have a look at oil. Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at oil. I was just trying to see if copper's going to find some resistance to potentially short. If I was going to short copper, I would be looking for maybe a break back below these levels to see if you can just short a bit of a pullback. It's a riskier trade because you have been so bullish. But, you know, I'd accept the risk and maybe even trade smaller size. So we'll keep an eye on copper. Let's have a look at oil. Oil has been on some... Have a look at Bitcoin as well. I know Bitcoin's been on some big runs as well. Wow, look at this on oil. Wow. Where are we at? Let's go to the daily. I remember we spoke about this on the... wow, look at that. Looked at Euro USD. Yeah, we can have a look at the Euro as well, man. Yep, absolutely. We can have a look at the Euro. Now, when I was on Hoag's opening call last week, we spoke about price coming back up to retest 64 region, which the reason for that is it was a nice psychological round level, but more importantly, it was also retesting this very, very nice support. Anywhere from 64 to 65, I believe we said. 64 to 65 was a very nice retracement level. I haven't looked at this since last week, but that was a very, very strong weekly closure. Let me just get rid of some of these levels. These are our levels from last week, guys. Broke above, held these levels, squeezed higher. Let's have a look. Actually, let's get rid of... Is that all the levels gone? Yep. That was my liquidity level as well that I was mentioning. Where I was basically saying a lot of people trying to short here. Stop sitting just above that high. So price to squeeze that. It was a very, very, very nice move. Very, very nice move. But it looks like, I would imagine last week was very strong. Yeah, look at that. Oh, this is looking nice. This is looking very nice. Why is this looking nice? This is probably looking nice out of all of them. So we are printing a very nice morning star here. And this is the pattern that I've been speaking to you guys about a lot recently. We created a very nice morning star after liquidating some major lows from all the way back in 2021. Absolutely huge levels. And a morning star is a very nice reversal pattern. Now, do I think this is going to be a reversal and you're going to see oil back all the way up to 80s? Who knows? I'm not really trying to think that far ahead. However, without even looking at this weekly candle, if I just look at these candles, when I come onto the charts, I'm trying to picture, okay, cool, how could this week look? And I would imagine that this week will probably look something like this, with a nice little bottom wick as well, and try and come up and squeeze higher, maybe tap back into 65. So with that being said, with the fact that you're opening, you closed very bullish last week, closed above some major levels. And this week has opened, again, same to a lot of the markets, guys. This week has opened and instantly pushed down. So what could this be? This could potentially be, let me just bring this across, the bottom wick for this week to continue pushing up. This could be the nice bottom wick before you squeeze higher. Again, how likely is it that this is going to be the high of this week? Again, obviously anything is possible, but in terms of probabilities, it's very unlikely that this is going to be the high of the week. So if we can see intraday opportunities to buy up into this weekly high and into this flipping bullish, coming up to retest 65, that actually looks like a nice trade. That could even be a nice little higher time frame play as well. So I'd keep last week's level marked on. I'd also keep this current weekly high on as well. Drop down to the daily at a fantastic close on Thursday. Let's have a look at the 4-hour time frame. Now, if I was going to be buying this as a longer term play, I'd probably be wanting to buy below some 4-hour lows. Because what does oil do that's very similar to gold? You come down, you liquidate some lows, and then you continue pushing higher. So I would potentially look for this candle to come down, grab the lows like this, before then squeezing higher. So could you look for intraday shorts to come down into these lows before squeezing higher? So I'd be watching here. This would be my anywhere below this low. I'd be very interested in buys for a much bigger play back up into where's this? This is supposed to be here. That should be there. Back up into these regions, which anywhere below here. That's a huge move. That's a very, very, very big move, especially for an intraday trade. So would I look to sell it into there before going long? Maybe make some profit on the way down and leverage some of that profit to take the bigger move back up? Yeah, possibly. Previous 30-minute grab, the lows couldn't really close back below. So I would say maybe 30-minute closures below. This is one thing that I kind of used to do a lot, guys. And this is one thing I tried not to do right now is the hardest thing in trading is, not predicting and being very reactive and trying to expose yourself to the fact that anything can happen. So what I would do in a lot of my earlier days is I would draw on my forecasting like this, wait for price to get down here, and then try and go long. But there's nothing to say that we can't grab these lows and continue squeezing lower. Therefore, I would like to expose myself to the fact that, well, if I know that there's a high chance we're at least going to grab these lows, well, I'd like to expose myself to shorts, make money on the way down, and then, if I want to leverage some of them profits to take the bigger move up, fantastic. Or that could just be your trade. So if you get a 30-minute breakout here on oil, I would look to squeeze this lower. I wouldn't short it just yet, given the fact that this 30-minute held this support and rejected. Before this was a rejection, it was before this was a big rejection. It was a very bearish candle, and then the last couple of minutes you wicked back up. So although this is looking like a very big bearish candle, at any point this could wick back up. So you wouldn't want to get trapped in just yet. Maybe even a 15 breakout. 15 breakout in 5 minutes, yeah, it could be pretty nice. Hold this area, then see if you can scalp this lower. Before, I like these levels on oil. All the way back up into 63.80. Looks pretty nice. How long does it take me to... Amazing consistency. Thank you, man. How long does it take you to become consistently profitable? At least 2 to 3 years, at least. To gain some sort of consistency. But to be honest, am I always, do I always have green days like this? No. I'll have red days within these days as well. This isn't, if I got this every month of every year, I'd be very, very happy. But yeah, I usually have, losing weeks, winning weeks within this as well. But this has just been because gold has been so good recently. And my bias on gold has been so simple. And I've just been taking advantage of these moves. But if I show you guys this account that we've had since January, you'll see it more realistically. I have my down days, and here had a big down day when I first got the account. But have my losing days. This was a payout. But overall, we continue squeezing high. So this is a more realistic active. This is from end of January, all the way up to where we are now. Whereas this, don't get me wrong, this is beautiful, but this is only, you know, the past month worth of data, so it's nothing, you know, although this is amazing. I don't get, you know, every day green day for all of the month, but what I do is I focus on just gold. These are, you know, this is just trading gold. I focus on my setup, and yeah, and I execute well. I find less is more. Let me take a look here, guys. But yeah, consistency is absolutely key, and this is all with just trading one contract as well, guys. This is, you know, this is just one contract, and we're usually copy trading them as well. So, you know, 3,000 here, 2,700 in the other one, plus with another payout. You know, it's been a very nice month, a very nice month. Yeah, pull back before I can buy again. Yeah, that's honestly, that's all I'm looking for on gold. What I don't like to do is try and chase gold at all-time highs, because, I mean, you could squeeze high, but you could also pull back, and these pullbacks are very large, you know, 100 plus ticks, and if you get caught on the wrong side, you can get squeezed out before seeing that overall move. Like if you FOMO'd into gold buys up here, you know, you'd be being minus about, at one contract, like $1,500. You'd be hitting your daily loss limit before it then continues pushing higher. So if I'm going to continue buying gold at all-time highs, I want to do it from the most obvious levels, which would be back down here. I want to see price, yeah, like I said earlier, come down, maybe break the support, break back above, and then I could have some amazing fake out buys. Very similar to down here as well. I want to see price break below a level, bring in some sellers who think that this is going to be the top on gold. They're going to hit the jackpot, and then I want to see price get back above, hold it, and then I want to take my trade. So I want to see something exactly the same here as well. And that's, you know, you guys saw me speak a lot about this, and I made a video on this over the weekend, which I'll try and post this week, about the fake out buy opportunities. Because gold last week had some incredible fake out buy opportunities. Like there was so many. The fake out buys are when you break below the level, aggressively break back above, and then you take the longs. There were so many of them opportunities. Here to the downside, like here back to the upside, so many. So I'll try and post that video this week. But that's basically what I'm looking for here on gold. I want to see us come back down, have a little bounce of support, break below, get back above, and then I can continue buying. Let's have a look at oil. 15-minute close in about 40 seconds. Copper, let's have a look. Yeah, see, copper here, you do have sales below this lows, guys. If you do want to short it, you know, you got a valid stop above there. If I had a combine here, I'd fire it up with you guys, but I don't. But I would be looking to play this back down into here. I would take it at half risk, though, given the fact that, you know, this is a pullback trade, given how bullish we have been. I think oil could be nice, though. Both are looking pretty nice. Much nicer than gold, that's for sure. Let's see here on oil. Let's have a look. Yeah, oil's looking like you're going to get pretty decent breakouts. You want to see oil come up top wick into this area before squeezing low. That is not a good drawing. Look at that. Before looking something like that. Hold these areas and see if you can squeeze it back down to these levels on oil. How much does oil move per tick? Same as gold, I believe. $10. $10 per tick per contract. Same as gold. And then copper is at $12.50. So copper's a little bit higher. So if you are trading copper, yeah. Man, I don't trade gold. You're making me want to try it out. I only trade MNQ. I mean, both have their place, man. Honestly, to be honest, sometimes I look at some of the guys who are trading Nasdaq. I'm like, man, there's some money's been made on Nasdaq. But it's the same as gold, you know. It's the reason I like gold so much is because I mainly trade the Asian and London session, and gold just moves so well in them sessions, and it gives me multiple opportunities every single day. Now, do I trade all of the opportunities every single day? Absolutely not. But it's nice to know that it does move so well in my time zones, and, you know, almost every single day. I like gold as well because I feel like I can manage my risk a lot better on gold. You know, like let's say, for example, if I was buying this breakout today on gold, and I was risking down here, you know, at one contract, you know, that's only, where are we? Where's my measurement? That's 42 ticks, 40 ticks. So you're risking $400 to squeeze it up into all-time highs to make, you know, what? $100? Sorry, $100, $1,000. And yeah, gold just, I just find the price action on gold just respects levels so well. You know, if it closes back below these levels, then, you know, I get out of my trade straight away. But the higher time frame on gold, like the, you know, the 15 and 30 minute, you do have to be very patient with it. But a lot of my trades are based on the 30 minute, and then I just execute on the lower time frame. But yeah, it's just been moving so well recently. And yeah, like I say, this is all we have. Where are we? Let's just show you. Where's our trades? Like, this is all just trading gold. Like, all of this is gold. A lot of these are micro trades as well, because the ranges were so big. But all of this, can I not see? I think I can see further back. But all of these positions here from this account that I've had since January has literally just all been gold. Every single trade has been gold. I know some people might find that a little bit boring and they, you know, want to trade other markets. That's fine. I just find that, yeah, if gold moves so well for me in almost every single session, multiple times a day, I just don't really have the need to feel like I should be trading something else. Or maybe, you know, you could have an account for gold, and then maybe you might have another account for NQ. And that's kind of something I want to use. Like, these accounts here, you know, I haven't traded these yet, so maybe I want to use one of these to get a little bit better at trading NQ as well. So I'll teach you gold, and you can teach me Nasdaq, because I'm absolutely no Nasdaq expert. The price action I use on gold, I have tried to use it on NQ before, and sometimes it can be very different. But yeah, I honestly look at some moves in NQ and go, wow, they are some huge moves. The only times I have traded NQ, I have been burnt quite a lot. I just find it a little bit harder for me to manage risk. That's why it's good you trade micros or trade ES. But yeah, just find about what works for you and what works for you and what works in your time zones. For me, gold has been, yeah, absolutely incredible. Yeah, NQ's breaking lower. Copper's not really breaking lower, so I'd probably be managing risk if I was in that one. This one looks to me like it's gonna flip bearish. You came up, you grabbed the highs, closed nice and bearish. See, if this was gold, again, I don't know exactly how this moves. If this was gold, this would be a nice little trade I'd be looking for. A nice little scout back down into the lows. I'm not taking these guys. Like I said, I haven't traded NQ to get all of these fund accounts to get, you know, over 10,000 sitting here right now. So I don't want to start shorting this right now. But if I had a combine, yeah, I'd fire it up. Would GC 3356 be a good entry at the open today? Let's have a look. Gonna try. Yeah, nice. Yeah, give it a try, man. Yeah, give it a try. You have to be a little bit patient with gold. You know, don't try and fight gold either. You know, if gold's squeezing high, don't try and sell it. Follow the trend with gold. Would GC 3356 be a good entry at the open? 3356. Around here. Around here was nice because, you know, you had buys into all-time highs. You had clear targets. Around here it was really nice. 3356. Where was that? I think that's like around there. Because this big rejection here, this is a trap to me. This is a trap. People try and jump in shorts off this rejection. As soon as you close bullish, there's a high chance you're going to fill in this wick and continue squeezing higher. So yeah, if you're looking for buys around here, definitely. The risk to reward is just based off the trade going against you. So if your price closes back below this support, you get out of the trade. So to me, no, this was very nice. Depending on, you know, where you would have got in from, stop below that zone. Yeah, so it's a great risk to reward. You look at, well, I do. I look at risk to reward based off where would I actually exit the trade, and if I did take this breakout trade, where would I exit? I'd exit on the break back below here. You know, I wouldn't have, you know, I might have a hard stop down here to keep me safe as like a worst case scenario. But the second you close back below this trade, that would be my exit. Therefore, I look at this as a risk reward. Oh yeah, that's a very, very nice risk reward. Try not to talk yourself out of a trade because you don't think the risk reward is perfect. You'll get better risk reward as you get more data and you get more comfortable. You know, you want to get good at calling direction on gold well, and then you want to focus on, you know, getting better risk rewards after. On these on this London account, you know, since January, and taking a payout on this last week, I could take a payout again this week, you know, my actual risk reward, this one's only, you know, 1.39, which is quite surprising, but, you know, still up over 4,500. On the Asia one here, that was better. I'm pretty proud of that. But yeah, don't talk yourself out of trade because you don't think the risk reward's amazing. You want to focus on executing on and where you would actually manage risk. Same as this trade here as well. This is, you know, remember, like, it comes back to, and I think this has like changed a lot in kind of the retail world. Like, you have to remember, like, what is a stop loss? Like what does it mean? Like, it's an order of, you know, where you get out as like you don't want to be in the trade anymore. The trade is invalid. So for me, if I was, you know, let's say if I was buying this today on gold, I was buying up into these all-time highs, and let's say if I had a hard stop down here as a worst case scenario, and I'd look at this risk reward and go, it's only a 1 to 1.5. It's not really worth it. But for me, this trade here, I'm buying off the fact that we've grabbed lows here, we've closed back above the support. So if I bought here and this candle actually closed back below, that's my stop loss. I'm triggering my stop loss there because the trade's become invalid. It's become invalid because we've closed back below the zone I'd want to be buying off. So my actual risk reward is based off around here because that's where I'd be looking to get out of the trade. So all of a sudden you've gone from looking at it from a 1.5 risk reward perspective to a nice 1 to 4 risk reward. But the only thing is with trading that way, which is what I always do, is you have to actually close the trade if it does close against you. So if I'm buying off the fact that prices, you know, liquidated lows, closed back above, if we actually close back below this level and close against me, I don't start thinking to myself, maybe this is going to be a fake out, maybe we're going to go back higher. No. I look at this and go, okay, cool. I'm buying off this support. Price has just closed back below. That's my exit. If price recloses back above, fine, I'll get back in. So yeah, try not to talk yourself out of trade just because you don't think the risk reward is amazing. Risk reward is based on where you would actually exit the trade. Let's have a quick look at these markets. Let's have a look. Is oil squeezing lower? Not really. Oil can't squeeze lower just yet. Copper. Nah, copper tapped right into that support, guys. You'd be break even or minor little loss there. You'd want to see that level broken in order for you to be able to hold that. Holding support, holding resistance. What's NQ up to? Again, kind of has some big support. I wouldn't really be too comfortable shorting that. How many instruments do you look at? How many do you trade? Is it only gold recently? Well, I used to trade. We'll have a look at the euro as well. Someone asked about euro. I used to trade like 5+ different instruments. And I just kind of got to a point where it's just like I was just trying to do too much. And let's say if I was trying to trade euro and I was trying to trade gold and I was trying to trade Nasdaq, and I was too busy watching. Yeah, nice one, Jess. See you next time. And I was too busy watching the euro, and then I'd look back at the end of the day and go, oh, damn, if I was watching gold, there would have been a good opportunity there. And I'd do the same thing, and I'd just kind of like convince myself that I would take these other trades if I was watching these other markets. So I just got to a point where it's like, I need to focus on less. Less is more in trading sometimes. I want to become a master of one, and then, you know, maybe later on focus on more instruments on a higher time frame. So for actual day trading, I just trade gold. I have traded just gold for the past, I don't know, 3+ years. And the reason I decided to choose gold over everything else is just because I find it very consistent. I find it moves very well just using pure price action. And it moves well in my time zones. And I can manage my risk well. And I can get my, 20, 30 ticks a good couple of times a week. So that's what I was like, no, I like gold. I'm doing very well on gold. I understand how gold moves. Let me just focus on that. So yeah, I just trade just Goldie. That's what I've traded to get all of these funded accounts and all of these payouts, or just literally just trading gold. Yeah, trading multiple assets is fine if you're swing trading, but intraday trading, it's impossible to focus on multiple pairs unless you want to just spend your life glued to the charts. Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. That's it. For swing trading, it's a different story. You can afford the time to look at other instruments. But for me, day trading, it's just, I guess it's my personality, which is what trading is all about. But my personality, my style is, if I try focus on too much, I end up doing nothing on everything. So I try and become a master of my one thing. Never hear much about the Dow, any chance? Yeah, of course, chat about it. Absolutely. Let's have a look. Yeah, no one ever asked about the Dow. I think the Dow moves quite well. Let's have a look. Let's do some top down here for you, man. Let's have a look. Again, very similar to all other markets. Is this going to be the high of the week? I don't think so. This is already liquidating weekly lows, which is very interesting. So I'd be looking for this to have a little bit of a squeeze higher. Gold's still ripping, guys. I'd be looking for this to have a squeeze higher. I wouldn't really want to be a seller here. We could come down and let's see. So we've got the current weekly high, which is nice. Nice little pullback. We're coming in some big overall daily support levels here, where same again, even if we were going to break this and push lower, I'd still be looking for initial reaction from this area. Let's get rid of all these levels from last week. Let's have a look. Let's go 4 hour. There's the open there as well. Coming into some big support levels as well. Big support levels. I wouldn't want to be a seller here personally. I would like to see price come down and maybe grab the lows before looking for longs. So I'll be looking for price to maybe come down, grab these lows, break to the upside with volume, and then into the New York session. Buys look pretty nice here. How low you can squeeze, I don't really know. I do believe it does move similar to gold in the sense that, kind of similar to here, look at this. You kind of got two equal lows. You came down, grabbed the lows, and then engulfed back above and had a nice squeeze higher. Pretty much be looking for the same thing here. Come down, grab the lows, break back higher, and then I'd be looking to come up and squeeze this weekly open here as well. I like this to push higher, man. Again, I'm no doubt expert, but if that was how I was breaking down gold, that's what I'd be looking for. Look at this on gold, guys. Look at this. The way we are just creeping up here, it does look like we're going to have a bit of a correction. Again, it's not going to be my job to short it, but once we do have a correction, which could probably be a decent liquidity grab into some lows, I think it's going to be a great buying opportunity later today as well. So this is just a phenomenal push up since the open. This is about 623 ticks, which is, yeah, absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. Specialize in gold. Yeah, again, you guys don't have to specialize in gold just because I'm trading gold, but specialize in something. Although the way I look at gold and the way I look at Nasdaq and the way I look at ES, they may be somewhat similar. On an intraday basis, they still have their own different characteristics. They still move a little bit different. And, if you look at gold and you try look at Nasdaq and they move a little bit different, I feel like you're probably just going to confuse yourself. So just become a master of one, whichever that is. As long as you know that instrument gives you good setups a few times a week, then that's it. You don't need to know anymore else. And if you know you can consistently manage your risk on it and take good trades that work in your time zone, then don't worry about anything else. There's multiple different assets out there, and every single day, everyone's going to be making money on some of them. But that's not your job. Your job isn't to trade every single market and make money every single day. Your job is to have your plan, have your instrument, have your time zone, and focus on that. Otherwise, yeah, like I say, you'll get to a level of going full time in trading. You'll just be glued to the charts 24/7, and you'll just be stressed 24/7, which is never the goal. You guys want to trade for freedom, and you want to become, like I say, a master at your one asset. And then, once I fully, I know the way gold moves pretty well. Now I can be like, oh, cool. Maybe now I'll have up 2 screens and I can have a look at gold. If gold's not shaping up today, maybe I can start diving into Nasdaq a little bit more. But I'll only do that once I've proven to myself that, yeah, I can trade this one market very well, very consistently. Now I can maybe afford to go look at something different if I want to. But for the most part, you don't really need to. If gold's not giving you anything today, well, enjoy your day. Go about your business. Yeah, I will be, man. Yep. Appreciate you tuning into it. I'll be on the opening call first thing as well, man. So hopefully I'll see you then. Let's have a look at oil. I think oil's probably finding some support a little bit. Yeah, see, this is a nice little breakout area here on oil. But, you can't ignore, you're still coming in some pretty annoying support. Although I believe this is going to squeeze lower into these lows. This is a pretty big support level as well. So you're almost kind of getting getting trapped right away. Copper probably squeezing higher as well. Couldn't really break that support. Same thing here. This is why. Remember, guys, it is a London bank holiday today, so don't get too trigger happy just yet. It's first thing on a Monday morning. We have plenty of time here. London Open is at 8 a.m. London time, which was 30 minutes ago, but it is a UK bank holiday today. It's a UK bank holiday today, which we are starting to see here as well. But again, you've had such big moves in Asia that even if it wasn't a bank holiday, big ranges before continuation moves is not surprising. Gold is just, like, remember what I said, guys, gold is not one to try and call the tops on. It can give you false signs of resistance, false signs of resistance, false signs of resistance, and it just goes higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. Gold is on a madness. Yeah, it's half eight London time right now, so official London Open was about 32 minutes ago, man. Remember, guys, you guys on YouTube, drop a little like for the stream. We'll be live here every single day this week as well. And we'll get plenty of opportunities to come this week. Don't feel like you need to go too crazy too early on in the week. You know, you don't want to ruin your week by forcing trades first thing on a Monday. Stay patient because we got plenty of opportunities coming this week, guys. So, yeah, it'll be an earlier stream than normal today, guys. So, Zoom, guys, give me 2 seconds. So, I will keep it short and sweet there for you guys. We've been on for about an hour. I don't really see any massive trade opportunities coming right now at the London Open, given the fact that it's the bank holiday. So I won't keep you guys. We've been on for an hour, shared lots of value already. But remember, guys, I'll be live here every single day this week as well. So be sure to come back to the other London sessions once you get this bank holiday out the way, get all the Easter excitement out the way, and then we should be in for a pretty good week. Remember, guys, we've got D coming right on after me as well in about an hour. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in. I'm going to let the markets do their thing for now. Get ready for the Open later on, where I'll be on TopstepTV, and then I'll see you guys same time again tomorrow. So trade safe today, guys. It's first thing on a Monday. Don't feel like you need to force it, and we'll go again for the rest of the week, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Trade safe. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.